I just want you to know that in this story, which I've read, we're at about a 1 at the moment, and it goes to 115.
Oh my God, Harry.
A bit of housekeeping before we begin Where You Left Them, the Dad Hugs podcast. Harry and Emma are not therapists, and your needs will be specific to your circumstances. The opinions expressed in this podcast should not be construed as formal advice. Some stories have been amended and simplified for narrative flow, and names have been changed to protect the anonymity of our contributors.
Hello, this is Where You Left Them, the Dad Hugs for Your Soul podcast. And this is the studio edition, even though we're doing it from home, aren't we, Emma?
We are doing it from home. Well, 2 different homes, but yes, we are.
This is true. Yeah, we don't want to start rumours. Anyway, this is where we share real people's real relationship stories and see what we can take from them for our own lives. And we always have a different story every week. And we want to hear your feedback on Tuesday about each story. Don't we, Emma?
Yes, we do. Thank you very much. That makes our Tuesday episode much easier.
Yeah, exactly. And you know us by now. I'm Harry. You've probably seen me on social media because I tend to pop up everywhere. Sorry about that. And this is Emma, my delightful friend, who
Hello.
has very quiet and very occasional and demure input from time to time. Often it's very hard to get opinions out of her, but we're going to try.
Sometimes I barely say a word.
Yes, of course.
I'm nervous about this one. I know it's going to be a tricky one. You promised me it was a tricky one, and
It is.
Have I got your fullest agreement to be able to be completely honest? Because I am slightly lacking in the social filter today.
Today. Yeah, of course. Yeah, be honest.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
It's an interesting one, this. I'm going to leave it at that for now, but
Okay.
I'm very interested to see what people's opinions are here, because I don't think this is as clear-cut as it first appears. But anyway, we do like to get your opinion as well at home,
Yes.
and we do that on the Tuesday episode, which Emma pretty much runs the show on.
Yes, I do. So if you could see your way clear to leaving us a little comment, maybe on YouTube,
Yes.
or on the website, it's even better, isn't it? So if you go to, we'll put the thing on the screen.
dadhugsforyoursoul.com/podcast.
Yep, and we do read them all, and we do reply to them. So
yes, and send us your stories, because some of you are sending some incredible stories. The one today, for example, but there are some amazing stories coming in. Do send them in, because if we read your story out, you'll get a T-shirt.
You will get a T-shirt. And do you know what? People do say, oh, no, I don't think you'd be interested. But everybody's story is really interesting. And so many more people will relate to it than you think. So write in. And if nothing else, the writing of it is very cathartic, isn't it?
It is. And also listening to other people's relationship stories, however brutal and sad they are, it's kind of it's a comfort while you're healing, you know, if even just for a distraction. It's something interesting while you're healing. So yeah, do send your stories in. We'd love to hear them.
Yes, we would.
Okay, Emma, this week's story is from Rosy, and it's a doozy. Are you ready?
I am ready, yes.
I've got my trusty iPad at home now.
Well done.
Hi, Emma and Harry. A terrible start.
I'm first.
I am a 43-year-old woman, and I'm in a situation I never thought I'd be in. I wish I could say this story paints me in a good light, but it doesn't. I'm not proud of any of it, but I also don't know what to do with the knot in my stomach anymore. So here I am. For the last few months, I've been sleeping with my husband's best friend. We're off, aren't we? We are off.
Oh, Rosie, no.
Okay. It started the stupid way these things often start. A family wedding, too much wine, a hotel corridor that felt safer than it should have. Wow. And the next thing I knew, I'd crossed a line that I can't uncross. His name is Rob. He's been in my husband Stephen's life since they were young.
Oh, Rosie, come on.
Barbecues, birthdays, nights in the pub, holidays, the whole thing. Rob and his wife are the couple we've gone away on holiday with. The people we've trusted with our kids, the ones who sit beside us at every table. Nothing about this has ever been planned or romantic. It was just one stupid night that became 2.
Oh, hang on. No. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, you can't let that go.
No. I mean, one stupid night is terrible enough. Becoming two, that is worse.
This is your thing, I think. This decision points thing, isn't it?
That's what I could forgive a lapse of judgment, actually. I could. I understand that completely. I've done really stupid stuff, caught up in the heat of the moment. I get it. But I do not get making a decision when you have got your wits about you.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest, Emma. This is not the story for you.
Oh. Should I wait? Should I stop?
It was just one stupid night that became two, and then it became our spot, that hotel. The same one from the wedding. It somehow became the place we went when we wanted to pretend we were different people.
Oh, for God's sake.
I know how awful that sounds.
Do you?
I know people listening will think I'm a terrible person, and maybe I am. But I'm not leaving my husband, and he's not leaving his wife. We never talk about it like we're building some future together. We talk around it like two people who know they're doing something terrible but can't stop.
Oh, stop. Stop it. No, you can stop, actually.
I'm going to keep ploughing on.
Go on.
We don't mock our partners. We don't fantasize about being together. I know that sounds ridiculous and almost laughable, but that's the truth of it. It's a mess.
It doesn't sound laughable. It doesn't sound... Nothing about this is laughable. This is awful. There is no redemption here. Sorry, Harry, but this has really made me cross, okay? Because it is... You're not star-crossed lovers. You are not Richard Burton and Liz Taylor. You are... The fact that you are not mocking your partners... Yes, you are mocking your partners. Very much so. And your families and your children and their history and everything. You really are mocking them. Sorry, I feel very strongly about this.
I just want you to know that in this story, which I've read, we're at about a 1 at the moment, and it goes to 115.
Oh my God, Harry.
It's a mess, but it's not ... cruel. At least it wasn't until recently. The last time we met, we stayed over. We both had easy mornings the next day. We didn't rush off. We just lay there, talking. It was one of the only times the conversation felt more serious. Like the two lives we keep separate were suddenly touching. We were talking about my husband, Stephen, and out of nowhere, Rob said something that didn't quite land at first. He said, "Yeah, the cancer thing, that was wild too." And I didn't catch it, not at first. It was like my brain skipped over the word. We kept talking about something else, and then it hit me, like a delayed punch to the chest. I stopped the conversation completely and said, "The cancer thing, what do you mean?" Rob looked like a child caught stealing. His whole face changed. Then he went white, and then he just stuck. He'd clearly said something he wasn't meant to say. I asked again, "Cancer? What cancer?" And he tried to brush it off. He tried to move past it, but obviously I wasn't going to let go. Eventually, he just sighed, covered his face, couldn't even look at me, and said, "The idiot told me that he'd finally told you." He said...
What? Whoa, what? He hasn't got the cancer.
No. It's...
The husband's got the cancer.
That idiot told me that he'd finally told you.
Oh my God.
He said it like this was common knowledge, like we'd already had some big emotional conversation, like I should be nodding along with it. But I wasn't. I had no idea what he was talking about. So here's what I learned, lying in a hotel bed with the man I shouldn't be with, hearing something I should have heard from my own husband. A few years ago, when Stephen and I went through a really rough patch, when he suddenly blew up one evening and said he didn't want our life anymore, when he told me he felt trapped, pressured, suffocated, when he packed a bag and walked out, it wasn't because of another woman, and it wasn't because he didn't love me. It wasn't because he wanted to find himself. It was because he had testicular cancer. He'd been diagnosed. He'd had appointments, tests, treatments, and apparently he'd even had an operation.
Oh, and she didn't know.
Wow.
She didn't know any of that.
Yeah, that is...
The hell?
Wow. I said layers of betrayal. All of this was happening while I was sitting at home, trying to make sense of my marriage falling apart, crying, begging him to talk and blaming myself, wondering if I'd failed somehow. Meanwhile, he was dealing with something that could kill him, and I didn't know a single thing about it. According to Rob, you won't like this bit. According to Rob, everyone knew. Even my mum. My own mother, who I see twice a week.
What?
Who held me while I cried during that separation. Who told me to give Stephen space. Who never said a word.
Oh my God, this is a mess, isn't it?
They all made a decision on my behalf that I didn't need to know.
Why? Why? Why the hell? Why? Right, okay. Sorry.
I'm gonna let you release some of it.
This is the whole thing is a total mess of how are these people living in these like you say, these layer upon layer of deception. What is it about her that she can't be trusted to handle this information, for God's sake?
It's so disrespectful, isn't it? All of it, from everyone. It's so
Nobody's got any respect for anybody else here, have they? Really? Well, to be fair, okay, let's take it at its word. Let's say he's got a good relationship with her mother and he has confided in her mother because he wanted to confide in somebody.
Yeah.
And he's asked his mother-in-law not to tell her daughter.
Yeah.
She's kept his trust. I would hope that she's encouraging him to talk to her. No, I'm sorry. No, I can't do it. I can't. Cannot see.
You can't find
a scenario where it works at all. Sorry.
I felt like the air had been knocked out of me. I still feel sick when I think about it. When Stephen came back after that separation, I thought we rebuilt something real and grounded about our relationship. I felt like we were more secure than before. I thought it was the classic relationship wobble that some couples go through before they find their footing again. But what's interesting about this for me, right, is that we've gone into this betrayal of her family against her, but we've forgotten already, haven't we, that she's...
So exactly. And are we at the end yet? Because
No.
What, is there more? There can't be any more than that.
Now I look back and see, and all I see is a wall between us that I never knew was there. Was he protecting me or shutting me out? Was everyone trying to spare my feelings, or was I just not trusted with the truth? Because how do you build a marriage on honesty when one of the biggest things that ever happened in his life was hidden from me?
Okay.
I know
I have a lot of problems.
We're not there yet.
Go on.
Not by strangers, by the people closest to me. And yes, I know I don't have the moral high ground. I know I'm betraying him too. I'm not pretending I'm innocent. But this doesn't feel like it's about guilt. It's about me being in shock. And I don't know how to look at him now without thinking, how did you go through all of that and choose to tell everyone, even my mum, and not me? How did you let me think you were just unhappy when you were terrified and hurting? And now this affair that was already a disaster has blown the lid off something bigger, something that I don't know how to process. I don't know whether I should confess everything. I don't know whether I should confront him with the information that I now know. And I don't know whether I should just pack a bag and leave. All I know is I'm walking around with a truth I was never supposed to hear from the person that I heard it from. I don't know what to do next. Rosy.
We hope you're enjoying the stories on Where You Left Them, the Dad Hugs podcast. But how's your emotional health? At Dad Hugs, we help thousands of people to solve their emotional challenges now and lead more fulfilling lives in their future relationships. Check out the No Contact Pack. It's brutal, but it works, and it'll help you break the cycle and rebuild after a relationship breakdown. Or the Healing Anxious Attachment Pack, a deep reset for anxious attachers which will help you calm the fear of abandonment, stop the spiral of overthinking, and feel secure in yourself. Find our packs and see what hundreds of other happy users have said at dadhugsforyoursoul.com/packs.
Right.
Deep breath, Emma.
I'm taking a deep breath, and I'm gonna give Rosy all I can give here, because you're on your own with this one, right?
Am I?
Rosy, I think you are brave to have written and allowed this one to be aired, really, because it is a terrible situation. But there is, I personally, I mean, it is an awful situation, and it is, and my immediate gut reaction is that, of course, it's awful. He's well. I'm assuming he's well now, and he's over it.
Yeah, he's well now.
So part of me, whilst yes, I understand, I almost feel, is she reaching for that as to excuse her own betraying awful behaviour? You cannot bleat on about, I thought we were building on honesty, but what, you can't say any of that. You're sleeping with his best mate, so you can forget that. I think you can forget that. Don't you agree with that? Surely there's nothing honest in this relationship.
Yeah, I think it's symptomatic, right? It's their reactions are symptomatic of a relationship where neither of them is emotionally present at all. She's checked out because she's having an affair with his mate. He's checked out because he doesn't trust her with the biggest event of his life. And they're kind of finding out stuff about each other like they're strangers through the people that they've done this with. And it's sad because the loyalty bit isn't just not cheating on people and not having affairs. Loyalty is emotional transparency and openness and sharing what you're feeling and all that stuff and supporting each other. And frankly, as dark as it sounds, things like cancer are an opportunity to support your partner through really hard stuff. And that's the good stuff. Like, that's where you get close. So yeah, it's just terribly...
Should have been. How was he in a room without her receiving that diagnosis, as an example? I cannot fathom how in a normal, healthy relationship you would go through those tests and receive that diagnosis without your partner very much a part. Maybe, okay, perhaps you couldn't be in the same room, but very much a part of it.
I've got a question. I've got a question. So is this the order of events that makes this so... It feels so hopeless, right, for both of them to reconcile, to sort this out. Is it because of the order of events? So, if she had found out that he had cancer, and then she'd had the affair, do you see? So, she feels betrayed, shut out, not let in, deceived by her own family. Because when these things happen, you always feel like there's kind of a group of people talking about this stuff and you're not let in, and that feels worse. It makes the betrayal feel worse. You feel more hurt. If that was the order of events, I would feel more forgiving for all of them, right? I would feel like, well, she was incredibly poorly treated, betrayed and deceived by her family and all that. But as it's coming out later,
the other way around, yeah.
It's so hard.
I just feel like it's
excuse me, yeah.
From a sort of bystander's point of view, I feel like there is nothing in this relationship. There cannot be anything in this relationship because the person she's chosen to have an affair with, and she is choosing, and it is an affair, and they are mocking their partners, very much so, by their very actions.
Yeah.
And all of that narrative about this is why it's okay is absolute nonsense. You can stop. People stop smoking. People stop, people lose weight and go dieting. You can stop. You don't want to stop. Okay.
Yeah.
So
is there an emotional starvation that's occurring here?
Something is not right, is it? For her to go, she's gone to somebody. It's almost like she's gone to somebody that she feels safe with because she knows him. Right? I guess you could kind of say, well, the fact that he's his best mate is by the by, it's because she knows him. It adds a layer of horror to it, obviously. Yeah. But that he feels able to tell everybody, even you could argue her mother, who's must be sort of a little way out on the periphery, further than you would think his wife. He's told everyone except his wife. Why?
So one of the interesting things as well is that at no point has she said, how do I fix my marriage? She said, what do I do? And it's kind of like, because they're so emotionally distant from each other, the betrayal's awful on both sides. And you are very animated about this because it's a triggering, awful thing, and most people will be, but they're not. She doesn't seem to be. Like, she's not. The language in this letter isn't hugely about emotional hurt or betrayal or pain. Even it's about, what do I do?
I feel like, and again, this is why I think that is non-salvageable. She's not actually said she wants to salvage. I feel like what she's actually asking is, how do I go and get my pound of flesh from him without telling him I've been sleeping with his mate?
Yeah.
So which one of the people who know am I going to throw under the bus to be able to have a go at my husband and feel better about myself for cheating on him? That's what I'm thinking.
What does a marriage mean if someone's hiding something that big from you? Like,
Well, this is it.
Where is the meaning in the marriage? Where's the closeness?
This is what's missing, and what has to give her all of the benefit of the doubt. This is what's missing. This is why she can do what she's doing, because she doesn't. She's so they're not a unit, are they? They're not a team. They're not.
I wonder if the cancer thing, as huge as it is almost an incidental, isn't it? It's almost a byproduct of and I wonder if it's kind of like, I don't know. It's so difficult to work out why he made the decision not to tell her. But is it any more difficult than to work out why she's in a hotel with his best mate? You know, both of these things are. I mean, this is therapy territory. This is,
It really is, because you could go down the road with him of saying, he felt emasculated given where it was and potentially what he's had to go through, and all on a medical front, and if he feels like that, what's missing? Such that she's having an affair. So if he's had to go through all of that, they, I assume, cannot be having a there's not going to be a plentiful or very open physical side to their relationship, is there?
No. And one of the things that really struck me about it as well is, I think you're right. I think men are physically protective about that area of them, right?
Of course they are, yeah.
But mentally and psychologically very protective of us as well. And I think often, men confide in their partners about this stuff and not other men. And
that's interesting. That's what I thought
that. So that's quite surprising. But also, the one thing that really stood out for me in this as well is the mother. Like,
that's what I was about to say. You can't sit and talk to your wife, but you can talk to your mother, and the mother is not going, why are you telling me?
Her mother.
Yeah, that's what I mean, her mother.
And betrayal from your own parent, that hits a different level, doesn't it? That's a totally different thing. So whilst these people are emotionally detached from each other, you're not really emotionally detached from your parents ever, as she saw her mum twice a week. So it's not like they were estranged.
So I sometimes wonder, right? I know of a person in a scenario who is.
I like it when you're careful, Emma. Yes,
I am
person.
Careful. It's not me this time, but this person, she's female, and the way she reacts to things and her aggression and how she is around people is really surprising, even to me, and I'm quite, reactive. Yeah. But then I found out more about her mum and how her mum is with her. And then I've sort of got to the point where I've gone, she didn't really stand a chance. And I see her very differently now.
Right. Okay.
And I just wonder, is the emotional distance... I don't know what, we could speculate all day as to what's causing it, but I wonder whether we need to actually talk about what the right thing to do is here. The
right thing to do is really clear with this one. As messy as the situation is, this is the most clear-cut case of, please go to therapy, whether you go independently or together. This is a therapy situation. There's obviously layers of stuff underneath these behaviours. The fact that you're asking the question, what do I do? And not asking, how do I fix this? I think it's just so clear that there's such emotional distance, and not everything is to be fixed, in terms of repairing the relationship. There's no obligation to rebuild something if you don't feel that you're enough in it, and I'm not sure that you're in it. I don't know if you're.
I agree. I agree with you. I think on this one, I feel like the best thing, the kindest, the most right thing out of an awful situation is that these two people are not together.
It
And
does
that both
feel
of
that
them,
way.
yeah, both of them have work to do to trust people. It just feels like he's gone through the biggest thing hopefully the biggest challenge in his life, and to all intents and purposes, he's done it, without the person who should be right next to him, championing and giving him, giving him the space to fall to bits.
Yeah, and
safely, and he hasn't had that.
And do you know what it is as well? It's an avoided opportunity to be closer. And when you already have that distance between you, it's like the opportunity arose. It's an awful opportunity to move closer to your partner and emotionally, and you've made the decision, actually, do you know what? Nah, I'm not going to give you this. I'm not going to give you the proximity to my emotional self.
So he doesn't
Yeah.
trust her, does he, at all?
I don't think he trusts her. I don't think he trusts himself to be vulnerable with her. And also, I have a bit of a theory with affairs as well. I think, and this isn't victim blaming, I should say this very clearly, but when people are being cheated on in relationships, I think a lot of the time you have an awareness that something isn't right. It doesn't mean that you know the person's cheating on you, and it doesn't mean you're allowing it to happen. It's never your fault. But there is an emotional distance that has to be created for that person to justify their actions. And the person who's perpetrating the affair has to recalibrate the relationship with their partner in order to justify the affair, right? So I wonder if, as the kind of distance already was there when she's cheating with his mate, we don't know what's happened before this. We don't know what their relationship was like. There's always likely to have been a lot of love there at the beginning. But when people live together, often people grow apart, right? And maybe this distance that they found between each other is, how do you bridge that? Even in circumstances like that, if you feel that you're not close to your partner emotionally and then something like that happens to you, why would they be the people that you go to?
So that's a really good question. I think the thing is I think you are always given a choice, and I speak from experience here, exactly what you just said. In a scenario where I knew what was happening, but I thought, when I confront this, there's so much work to be done here that I don't feel emotionally able to do. I let it go. So yes,
Yeah.
my fault. My fault. No boundaries.
No,
my fault, right?
not your
Or
fault, no.
my choice. I
Yeah.
made that choice, didn't I? And I feel like when you are walking along this road where you're sort of walking together, and then this distance starts, it's at that point that you need to make the choice. You need to choose your partner then, and
Yes.
yourself. And you need to say, we cannot let this happen anymore. We can't let any more space here. So we stop here and we say, why is that space? And if the space is there because changing, whatever it is, but you have to confront and address it, or else it just gets bigger and harder to handle, I think.
So. As you're watching the rope sort of drift away in the water, aren't you? And you're trying to catch the boat, and once it's gone, it's gone. And
it's gone, yeah.
I just think it's such a lot of work, and the kind of tone of it's so hard to judge from one letter, of course, someone's full relationship, but the tone of the kind of description of events and the language of, we weren't cruel and we weren't this and you kind of were, and
but it's like you say, Harry, they've had to recalibrate. They've had to say this to themselves.
Yeah.
To be allowed to indulge, and it is an indulgence. They've had to say and believe those things to continue to indulge a thing that they shouldn't be doing.
And I'm going to say something that's going to make you angry. This doesn't make you a horrible person because you've cheated on somebody. This doesn't make you a terrible human being.
No.
This makes you someone who's reacting to being in an emotionally unbalanced relationship, being in the wrong relationship, being in a situation where emotional starvation is occurring and you are reacting to it, and that's awful and difficult. And I'm sure that despite the apparent lack of remorse in the letter, it's just a letter, but I'm sure in your daily life you are thinking and rethinking about this all the time. And what I would say is, instead of beating yourself up about the things that have happened, take some action, change the situation. And the action may well be that you separate, it may well be, but actually the first thing that both of you need to do is go and sit with a therapist and talk through it, because there's a lot of stuff under this, there's a lot of reasons, and it's not just the emotional starvation, but the fact that your family have kind of been in on this weird sort of suppression of the truth. It's not healthy, and you need to talk about it.
I absolutely agree with you. And I feel like, you can postpone the requirement for strength, but you cannot get rid of it. It is going to catch up with you. And it is, so their need for strength, or her need for strength, was to say no to that affair.
Yes.
It was to say no. That's where her strength was required.
Yeah.
And she was like, I've done it.
And her self-value, really, isn't it?
Her self-value. But that is where the strength was required. And for whatever reason, she couldn't meet that need at that point.
Yes.
So now the need for strength has got bigger. Because she's also dealing with guilt, regret.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now she's been dealt this awful thing to also... Now, how much different would it have been if that had been placed at her feet and she didn't have the affair hanging off her? It'd still be incredibly difficult, but it's now a colossal amount of strength that's going to take from her. So I think a lesson that I learned myself, you can postpone it, but you can't outrun it.
Yeah, you've got to nip it in the bud, because it's only going to get worse, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right, okay, so in summary then, Harry, this is a big old naughty old mess.
A naughty old mess.
A naughty old mess,
like
my knitting. But she's taken the first step, I guess, by acknowledging that it is a naughty old mess. The head is firmly out of the sand now. Your advice is stop the affair, go to therapy. And I don't feel like 100%. There's really much more we can add there.
Yeah, just talk to someone objective who doesn't know you and get it all out, get it all out on both sides. And then hopefully you can go to therapy together and listen to each other's side and find out what's underneath all of this, because something is.
Of course. And I'm going to round it off by really saying I am sorry for my reaction. And I do actually thank Rosy for sending that in, because that's not...
Yeah, well done.
She knows that's not a nice picture of her, and I bet there's a million other things about her that she could have told us that would make her really, sound a lot better. Power to you, Rosy.
I think when people feel bad, they're extremely harsh on themselves. So the letters are always a bit more brutal. Yeah,
thank you for that. So, Harry, I need a breather on that. I need you to take over now and talk about light and shade like you do. Please go ahead.
You like the light and shade thing?
I do. I need some light.
Okay, we'll see if we can find some light for you. I'm just looking to see what my notes say for you this week. Oh, Emma. Okay, so Emma, question of the week.
Yes.
Do you want to do a little song? Question
of the week.
Okay. So, question of the week is: what's a truth about your dating life that you had been pretending not to know when you were dating?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Right, this is ugly and horrible, and I'm ashamed of it now that I am where
Excellent.
I am.
Love it.
So I'm leaning in. Yeah. I know you are. You will beat me over the head with this. You know this. I feel like I went into dating from the position I can hardly say the words. I'm choking on them. From the position of truly believing that no one else would want me.
My goodness.
Right. Wow. And it's true. For
look
lots
how
of
far
reasons.
You've come.
I know, look how far I really have come a long way, actually. But, genuinely feeling nobody would want me. And so I think I tried to make... this is just so embarrassing. I'm so sorry. Anyone that swiped on me... No, not anyone.
Oh, I see. For the people watching who've swiped on you. Brilliant. Hello.
No, they won't be any of them. Not, people that that did the like, whether that's a swipe right, whatever, I tried to make more of them fit than I. And by that I mean be accepted. That's a terrible way of putting it, isn't it?
It is embarrassing, isn't it? Yes. Sorry.
Very embarrassing. I mean, I tried to find stuff in them that wasn't there to mould myself. There's a better word, to mould myself to fit their profiles rather than go, nope, not for me, not for me, not for me.
Wow. I can't imagine you doing that now. So that's brilliant, right? That's a healed you, right?
I'm desperate and like that awful thing, like grateful.
This is just it's an embarrassing question. It's embarrassing for everyone. My version would be that I dated for years, and I don't know actually if I'd fully deliberately been deceptive about it, but I wasn't really looking for a relationship. And I think a lot of people do this where you convince yourself you are, and then you turn out that you're not, and then you're on to the next person and the next person and all that, and it kind of gives you away a bit. You give yourself away a bit, and it's not good for your personal growth, shall we say, your value.
Ooh.
So mine was that.
You tried to make yourself believe it was relationships you were pursuing when you weren't really. You were just
myself at first, and then other people for a while, and then coming to the realization that that was a really crappy way to live, because you can do that and get a load of sort of basic physical satisfaction and fun, but actually deep down it doesn't feel good. Like, it doesn't feel good. You feel
I feel like this has made both of us very uncomfortable, hasn't it?
I love it. I like it. It's good.
I know, and I think this is a good one to ask.
And we're both miles away from that now, and that's pretty good, right? That's the point. So
yeah, that is the point, and maybe that is why we feel so uncomfortable saying it.
Exactly.
Ask yourself this question, viewer. Ask yourself.
Yeah, or tell us.
Oh, better than that, tell us. Tell us. We will not judge, because mine was terrible, awful, and Harry's was also terrible and awful.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
They're not going to be worse than that. I've done much worse things than that, but I'm not going to say them.
Oh,
my child's just got home. I'm not telling you anyway.
We'll get into those. Right, so
okay. Sorry, okay, so that's good. Tell us yours. And now then, Harry, this is the bit that I really hate every week. This is the homework.
Oh yeah,
activity of the week.
I like this. It's Emma's activity of the week. So I'm going to combine your activity of the week and the tool of the week, and I'm doing this for a very deliberate reason.
Right.
So I've just built the Men's Emotional Resilience Pack, and as the flow for that pack, believe it or not, dear viewer, dear listener, it's a little bit more difficult. It's more of a hurdle to get the men to engage with the somatic kind of practices, the stuff like, go and meditate, do some breath work. There's more resistance, and that's not an old-fashioned view. That is a realistic view. So in that toolkit, in that pack rather, I've deliberately kept some of the tools outside of the toolkit, just in the daily work. So that means that they're more accessible tools. And you're going to be doing one of those things this week, and it's called the physiological sigh. Now we're going to
doing one there. Did you see me?
Yeah. So this is like a proven technique to release an awful lot of anxiety very, very quickly. It feels like it shouldn't work, and it works immediately, and you go, wow, it really does work. So I'm going to put the details of it into the podcast notes so that people can do it themselves. And we'll put it onto the website so that you can see how to do it. And we'll obviously, Emma, give you the full instructions so you can do it at home, and we can watch you go through the process, because it doesn't take long. It's a few seconds, and it's a little focused release of anxiety, which I know you can't possibly need these days now that you're
never have that anymore.
that you're solid and secure. But it's basically like it's an inhale, exhale, inhale, all very quickly and firmly, and it really takes control of your nervous system. It's beautiful, and it really does work.
Oh, I would do that, and I'll also strong arm my child and perhaps my partner into giving it a go as well.
Yeah, definitely, it works. It's one of those that just works.
Oh, lovely! I found that, and it sounds like not a lot of effort for me, which I like very much.
You can do it watching your fire again.
Oh, nice! I'll do that. I love that.
Nice.
So those are the two things combined. Then that's going to be my homework and the tool.
That's going to be the tool of the week, because I want everyone to have access to stuff that can change your emotional state really quickly. And this is one of those things that if you're in that awful place that we've all been in, where you're a bit teary and you're a bit breathless and you feel like your mind's running away from you, one of those things where you can just force a pause, and a few seconds at a time is enough when you're in emotional pain. So the physiological side, that's what we'll go for.
Physiological. I love that. And I'm going to tell you this now. Sometimes when you tell me this, or when anybody talks to me about anything, in my head, I imagine that I am recording an answer phone message.
Oh, I like this.
Right? And I'm going, hi, I'm sorry I can't come to the phone right now because I'm performing a physiological sigh. So that's what my new answer phone message is going to be. That
I'm gonna start calling you just so I can hear it. That's beautiful. I like that.
Sigh. So that's marvellous. Yes, I'm very happy to do that. Right, we should go now. You've got things you should be doing.
We're going to leave it here. I think we've covered quite a lot this week. It was a tricky story. We really do want your opinion on it. So do get to the website, dadhugsforyoursoul.com/podcast. Leave your comments. Comment under the podcast if you're listening on Spotify, or if you're watching it on YouTube. Leave us a comment, because
please do.
It's always tricky to know what the general opinion is going to be on these ones, because this is a complex situation.
Yeah.
And please like and subscribe to the podcast if you don't already. And please go to the website and interact. And if you do go to the website and interact, there's a much better chance that you'll win some of the beautiful merch. And we love to give you things. But for now, and also, please get in touch with your story. You can email us at podcast@dadhugsforyoursoul.com, or you can submit it on the form on the website as well. And you can leave us voice notes on the website, and we love
we like those. Yeah. Can I ask, if you do leave a voice note, does that mean we can just play them, or we should ask people, really, shouldn't we?
We'll ask permission, but we can.
Them, won't we? We'll ask the people.
If it's a nice voice note about me.
Yes. It won't. No, it's never about you.
No, it won't.
It always is about you. Right.
Okay, so
yes,
let's leave it there, and we'll catch up with you on Tuesday to see what you thought about this one, because it's a bit of a strange one, this, and we're looking forward to hearing your opinion.
Yes, we are.
So, if you're wondering where your ex is and what they're up to, they're exactly where you left them, and they're doing exactly what they were doing. Big hug.